What's up, guys? TimInTheNorth back with another AoE2 ranked match. Today we're on Arena playing the Magyars. My opponent, Kobe Cobain, is playing as the Franks. So classic showdown here between Magyars and Franks. Obviously, we're probably going to see some cavalry. Who knows? So I say back to Arena. I turned Arena off for a while. I wanted some variety, and it cost me. It definitely cost me. As much as I enjoy the alternating maps in the ranked pool, some of them beat me down. I don't know the strike. It's still because I haven't played a lot of them, but they are fun. So I ended up turning off, I think, Migration and putting Arabia back on. I still don't have the feel for Nomad yet. Just always, whenever I play Nomad, I'm in my opponent's backyard every time I drop my TC. There's a giant map, right? But you know, their TC will be here, and then I'm dropping mine right here. It's just how it happens. So anyway, pushing some hunt here pretty early. I got lucky finding my first batch of these llamas, yeah, llamas, and then continuing the scout, as you can see here with the, I'm always on the other opponents. There's my vision. So, you know, I seen this and I figured while we're consuming a boar and one of the deer, I'd grab this llama here. This fool got away from me. What a jerk. What a jerk. I guess he prefers llama over pork and what's it, venison or deer? Anyway. But yeah, gonna keep trying to push the deer. But yeah, back in Arena, you know, you can have some early aggression, unlike Arena. I feel, unless you do a castle drop, you can get early aggression, but not as early, right? And the same thing with Fortress. It's basically a Arena on steroids because you get a free castle. So, you know, wanted to change things up and play something that's a little bit more aggressive here. Oh. Idle TC time, geez, 14 seconds. My opponent not any better, 23, almost a full Ville down. But anyway, Magyars, love playing as Magyars. It's fun for early aggression because you get the damage bonus for melee units early on. 2 on wood. I'm at 15. I'm about to throw 2 more onto wood as we're finishing up our hunt here. Actually, I got another boar coming. So a little late bringing this guy in here, but it's all good. I have one more deer to grab. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. 6 minutes. I'll probably go grab it. I think I'm just trying to finish out. Yeah, I just wanted to see what was behind these trees here. My opponent's coming in to scout. I usually try to jump into the, yep, town center right there. Nice shot. Boom. He's not getting out of there. So, early kill on the opponent's scout. He knows where I am, though. I don't know anything. It's scary out there. I don't, all dark. So, opponent's 9 on wood, pivoting to get some early farms down, finishing up here. Did they get all their? Nah, there's some llamas still hanging out in here. There's 2 of them. I've opted for the double lumber camp, and I am gonna start looking into doing some walls here. I'm halfway through Feudal Age. I do not have a barracks down yet. Oh, I took the lazy way out here and opted to drop the hunt off closer to the mill, which, you know what, it works, right? It works. It's maybe not as efficient as being under the town center, but hey, it works. So barracks is going down now. My opponent's already on it, so I am gonna be a tad behind. We'll see how it goes. Actually, if this is the match I'm thinking of, this early part's kind of hectic. So, opponent immediately drops the stables. As I said, I'm behind. I do not have the wood for a stable. You're going to see I'm trying to drop off here. I finally get up to the 170 something. And there it is. Pull him off the deer here. Try to get this stable down, but you know, as I'm getting this stable down, my opponent is going to start producing. Yep, boom, 3 red. My scout runs in here. I finally identify where my opponent is. I had a pretty good idea, right? Went over here first to see if they were over there, and then just ran to the side. So, gonna come on back here. Grabbing our eco upgrades. And I think if this is the match I'm thinking of, I'm gonna be in for a little bit of a rough one. Obviously, taking down that first scout was super beneficial for me. Have one parked out front of the base here. I'm being chased, and yeah, I don't know. I can't remember if I see this. Obviously, getting hit. There's some notification for me now, so I'm trying to bring this back. Yeah. So I see the 2 scouts and I'm like, okay, let's get a spearman in the queue. I need to defend this. There's not going to be any kind of early pressure. Obviously, my opponent probably understands I have the forging upgrade for free, so isn't really wanting to exchange with my scouts here. So going to be a little bit on the defensive side here. Wanted to get into Arabia and see if I could just like push somebody in and, you know, go aggressive early on. I do have a match coming up that I'll do the recording for shortly. I just did one. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good one. Opponent was pretty chill. So yeah, I want to do some arena and be aggressive, and sure enough, I'm the one gonna get beat down here. So try to run this guy away. Not a good exchange for me. I think I must have had like, no, you know what it is? The Franks, while I get a damage upgrade, the Franks scouts get more HP. So 54 max and I got 45. So tried to pause him there with the spearman. Absolutely ready and on top of it. But the aggression has cost my opponent a little bit here. I am going to drop a house there. My opponent is trying to find eco damage, so I'm up to 54 seconds too. So my early advances has cost me as well. I'm trying not to spend too much food here, so I did put out what, 2 scouts or 3 scouts, I think, earlier on. I don't want to invest much more food. I try to not overinvest in Dark Age. Simply because, one, I'm not going to get pressure at this point, right? My opponent should be pretty much walled up, and they are. And I need to close up here and see if I can get some better units onto the field. So, overextended here on my part. My spearman will go down. I am going to house this up, so he cannot get in. I'm going to house these guys up so they're protected, and I'm running this one back to the town center, and this one is so dead. Okay. Not sure. Oh, I lost the other spearman, so I'm running these guys back, trying to put another, little bit of addition to the wall. Just want to slow this down as much as I can. I'm gonna have to get more spears out onto the field here. I don't have an option unless he runs under my town center like so. This guy was just kind of chilling, so we're gonna pull him up closer to the person on gold. I am almost at the 200 gold mark here. My opponent grabbed wheelbarrow. Spearman gets 1. And spearman goes down. So I had 2 more. I had to put 2 more in the queue. This guy's got to get his ass down here and help out, because we're gonna keep losing vills at this point. Did manage to kill one of the scouts. My opponent's feeling greedy here. Yeah, feeling very greedy. He's like, you know what? His walls aren't down yet. Let's push. Let's get some more scouts out there. And you know what? Go for it. I'm not going to invest any more in scouts here. Like I said, it's just an attempt to lock this down and get up the castle. My opponent's already got all the necessary. How? He bought all those. I have so many on food. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that myself because, oh, you know what? They consume berries faster. That was probably a big help. So I also idled quite a bit on worker efficiency, so I'm sure that was a bit of an impact. Full HP on this Ville, so I'm not overly terrified. I do have enough to click up to Castle Age here, but I'm idling my TC, which is terrible for me at the moment. There we go, got a poke in. Yeah, with this wall here, this makes it much easier for the spearmen to kind of lock in. Gonna drop another stable there. And we're nearly walled up here. So, but my opponent is going to be into Castle Age much faster than I am. Also building a second stable. A lot on gold. So, yeah. Gonna be in a little bit of trouble here. I do have an eco lead. But my opponent does have wheelbarrow. And they're right around that 30 threshold where it scales nicely. I'm not out of the storm yet. So immediately starts 5 knights. And I still have a gap here. This market isn't close to being built. Second town center goes down for my opponent. Upgrades coming in for my opponent's knights here. And scouts, I guess, because they're still here. So this is not good. This will shred through anything that I have right now. I think my opponent wanted to mass a little bit more. So 4 knights out in the field for my opponents. I am trying to grab bloodlines, and this house and that house, which has the ghost foundation started for it. It's gonna be close, but this house will get started. All right. So now the fun begins. I'm grabbing bone saw here. I want to start getting wood a little bit faster. These spearmen will take down 1 unit before dying, which thanks, because we're already at a significant disadvantage here. I have 1 military unit. It's a knight, which is chilling out here and does not stand a chance against these guys. 2 more knights show up, and my opponent has 2 more in the queue. Yeah, I'm in trouble here. So immediately starts attacking the house. I put a house down here to put another barrier in, and I've started a monastery. And this is something that I've always been bad at. Usually it's panic. I'm trying to produce units to kill units, but you know, dropping a monastery is huge. You can get pretty quick conversions on knights, and it's a 2-point swing in terms of military, right? Because if you convert a unit, it dies and it's +1 for you. So it can quickly turn the tide of battle. However, there's a lot of knights out here. So I put my knight over here to be like, yo, I got military in here. So I try to get his attention and pull away with this knight, and that fails. So the next best thing that I can do with this knight is send it to his base, right? Because I can't fight this. I don't have the military to deal with this. So I'm bringing the monk to the center of my base, so this way he can, you know, quickly approach to wherever the pressure is going to be. My knight finally makes it over here. I'm trying to go around the perimeter to see if there's a gap or an opening. We do have the knight down, and he gets away. So I do have more monks in the queue here. I'm ready to utilize them. This jaguar followed me all the way from the center of the map, and my opponent was also took out a jaguar. So there's a gap here. This is huge. Not because I'm gonna shred through my opponent's eco, but this military now needs to come back here because there's a knight in his base and villagers are going to go down. So I now have a higher eco kill lead over my opponent. I'm dropping a second town center, not because like this is a great spot, but I'm afraid of all the knights out there, and I don't need to get absolutely wrecked right now, but I do need to get some more vills out on the field here, even though I'm not that far behind. So I'm just kind of trying to peek around the base here, drag his units as far away as possible, and, you know, cause as much of a distraction as possible. Third town center coming down for my opponent. There's way too many on trees over here. I did put down a gate so I can get some of the units that I had inside my base out. So we have some military. Obviously, my opponent still has the advantage in terms of value. 14 knights. I have 3 myself. I do have some spearmen though, which I'm trying to upgrade to pikemen. We do have the iron casting damage upgrade, which is pretty big. So, yeah, I do have the monks out here because, you know, as I said, I know they have knights. I'm dropping a third town center, and my opponent is just kind of booming now. Couldn't get that early aggression in, so now they're opting for some crossbows. Currently, Hals, we're going to be pausing production soon if these Hals doesn't go down for the still. But so we're coming to a head here. This is going to be interesting. I'm bringing a relic in. I have knights. I have some. There's still scouts. They're not upgraded. My opponent definitely has the more expensive military here, but I will gladly throw these pikemen with damage upgrades at my opponent. They also have scale mail armor, so they should be able to do some work here. I'm gonna get a conversion, right? Nope. The like I said, that would have been a 4-point swing, so -2 for my opponent, 2 for me, if those conversions would have gone off. So that would have been a pretty significant tide change there. Like I said, if you think it in terms of points, it would have been -2 and +2 for me. So opponent is expanding his base out quite nicely. There's quite a few crossbowmen. My opponent has opted for a stone mining upgrade. Also, there's a lot of vills migrating out here to this stone, so I think we know what is likely going to happen there. So my opponent is now like, okay, I have crossbows. I still don't have very good military out here. My opponent does have fletching, which is pretty big. No armor upgrade for the crossbows. Monks are out here. Monk pulled off 1 conversion, and we're still trying to get these crossbowmen down. Here we are. Pikemen will do a lot of damage to these knights. It's a race to the bottom here. Opponent runs off because I think another conversion was about to come through here. At least I had one of the monks targeting. So I'm trying to drop some more barracks down here. My opponent has 15 on stone. Obviously, somebody wants a castle while they're also dropping a 4th town center. we even have the food eco for that? So, grabbing chain barding armor for the knights. Oh, I'm starting to mass pikemen here. This is certainly going to be a problem for my opponent's knights. And you know what? I have a pretty hefty batch of knights myself. So I have 11 knights on the field. My opponent has 11 and possibly 12 crossbow. So my opponent is dropping a foundation for a castle. I can't see this right now, but I know that I want to send my army forth because I have a perfect counter for his strongest unit on the field right now. And I have something that can deal with crossbows before they start to mass. So spread out the army a little bit. Oh my god. There's vills in here. Jesus. So this is all... We'll just keep an eye on the meter here, right? These vills were absolutely stunned. There's people standing here, so the base for the foundation for the castle can't go down. Yeah. Cleaned up my opponent. My opponent calls the GG, and if you paid attention to the title for this, you know that this was a fake GG, which is actually really frustrating because I stopped here and then all of a sudden I realized the GG didn't come through. So I'm like, oh shit, I better grab arson because I need to get some of these buildings down to scare him away. But he's dropping a castle here, and you know what? This is such a... I'm gonna say it. It's kind of sleazy. It's kind of sleazy. I've had 2 other people do this to me, and they, you know, they call GG, and, you know, you're kind of like GG back, and you kind of sit back in your chair, you're trying to catch your breath and look at your eco, and all of a sudden, like, the game's still playing. So, yeah, I'm actually kind of annoyed at this point. I'm trying to run the knights through here. I'm just like, if I can just get him to quit and finally, you know, actually resign, that would be nice. But no, he decides to keep playing on. All his eco is idle right now. He's clicked up to Imperial Age, but he's not going to have the economy to support this Imperial Age click here. So yeah, it's frustrating because, you know, he doesn't resign. And then, you know, I'm spending resources real fast to just kind of swarm him. Then he's like, oh, I'm clicking up to Imperial Age. So, unfortunately, he's got the town centers to support a boom here in getting the Vil count back up. But he doesn't have any military at the moment. So, I'm trying to grab fletching now to power up my castle's arrow fire. He's not close to being housed, so that, you know, taking houses down right now isn't going to do much for me. I'm kind of disappointed that my castle just keeps missing these units. They're walking at a perfect angle, trying to get some more stables down. Which, you know what, I don't know if it's the best after he just saw I had a whole bunch of pikemen out on the field, but yeah, here we are. I'm also trying to drop more town centers myself because when I was running through his base, I seen how many he had, and I'm trying to get more farms. I've let this eco go at this point because, like I said, it's just a race for me at this point, trying to get some of his vills down and making sure that I can just boom super hard so there's no throw here at the end for him. So my opponent's in Imperial Age, so a Treb's gonna come in. I want to grab crossbow myself so I can clean up these halbs that I just ran into. And this is an expensive raid, but like I said, I need to shut this guy down. So I'm sending knights in here to raid an economy, and they're gonna get torched by some castle fire here. I'm sending these rams in largely to pull some of these units here to the castle and see if I can get them down. But it's super messy right now. So most of his eco is idled here, with the knights kind of chilling here on the farms, which is kind of exactly what I need right now. The pikemen are being pulled to the back of his base, which is allowing the rams to kind of do some ramming. Chopping wood here on golds. I'm trying to keep this castle up because I want to get to Imperial Age, which this castle isn't looking too good right now. It's only one treb though, so there's a chance. I was not paying attention to this, and all my knights got consumed. And this is what I was worried about. I was worried about a throw. And it's not that I wasn't, you know, worried about them. It's I was looking at so many other things. I'm trying to get these guys over here onto some wood so I can make some farms. I definitely do not have enough food coming in right now to do like a light cav spam into my opponent's base, which is what is really optimal for doing this, not knights, which I just wasted a ton of gold on. So I'm giving up on this castle. I don't want to excuse me, overspend the stone. So throw these guys on gold and, you know, let my military hold them down. Opponent's got some rams coming in. They still only have the one treb. Nobody's on food over here, so no more halbs are coming in, and also, you know, villager production has ceased. Archery range goes down. This is you know, just an exchange. There's more here in favor for me. I am gonna lose some cavalry units, which isn't desirable, but I also have the upgrade for blast furnace. These halbs don't really have a chance here. They're gonna go down. I did drop a castle back here to start producing trebs because I knew I was gonna lose this one forward. Trying to ram down the siege workshop. So, remember, GG was called a while ago. But, yeah, here comes another raid. Like I said, trying to keep the vills under control here. 10 are on food. It's not enough to hold bill production and unit production, so I'm doing the best with what I got. We get our hussars, so now I'm ready to run through this economy. Fortunately, these spearmen, or pikemen, I'm sorry, at this point are still here to protect these vills. I am going to lose some vills though, right? I do have capped ram that came in. This is how we're looking back here at home. Trying to grab some more stables to, you know, rush some hussars into here. Bring the castle forward. And I put the hussars onto the ram here. Yeah, ram. The trebuchet. And yeah, my opponent's eco is absolutely destroyed at this point. A lot more military production just spiked here and went up for count, but you know, the raids are, yeah, the raids. I'm still having some units get through the farms here, and that was my primary focus on what to attack. I do have some archers here. Crossbowmen, sorry. It's getting late for me. And I had wanted to get these going so I could deal with some of the pikemen my opponent has. This treb is gonna go. And we did not manage to get the conversion. Died. So dropping some more archers. Oh, and there's the second GG. This one stood though. This one stood. I did let my opponent know that it was kind of a shitty move to. I probably didn't put it that nicely. It was a shitty move to call GG already and then keep playing, try and catch your opponent off guard. If you're gonna call GG, just, you know, call GG. If you're salty because your Vils died when you're trying to rush a forward castle, you're not actually gonna call GG. Don't call GG. It's not that hard. But yeah, it was a fun match. My opponent was pretty well aware of the game here. He was a 1029, I think. Very good early pressure with the scouts, so very good management on Cobain's end. So, you know, hats off in that regard. Obviously a very aggressive player, because we seen the scouts come in and then, you know, the knights were trying to push around. I probably got lucky back here with the knight raid, which, you know, I got 2 Vils and it pulled his military back, but I did have 3 monks in here ready to convert things, and I was massing inside the base. So the turning point obviously was this battle on this hill for the castle when we lost those Vils and when the first GG was called. But yeah, fun match. Pretty, I would say definitely a skilled opponent, but yeah, don't call GG and keep playing. But that's gonna do it for me, guys. For now, feel free to like, comment, consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.